Today, we'll close with a prayer. Right away. Don't forget you can leave your questions and prayer requests in the comments below. Julie shared one already. We'll be praying for Michelle's grandson, Braden, who accepted Christ at church yesterday. What a truly special moment. Viewers are watching from all over the world. Share your location in the comments so we can see where everyone is tuning in from. Today, we're joined by Shabbat Jerusalem. She serves as the spokesperson for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office. She'll update us on what's happening in the Prime Minister's office, which is extremely busy right now. We'll also go live to Paul Petit near Tel Aviv, where another missile strike occurred this afternoon, about an hour and a half ago. Miraculously, the overall damage across Israel has been minimal, considering the number of attacks from Iran and Hezbollah. Remember to follow and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and post your questions in the comments. Now, let's head to our news desk for the latest updates. Signs are emerging in the Middle East that pressure on Iran is now coming from inside the country, not just from outside forces. According to the Wall Street Journal, ordinary Iranians are quietly assisting Israel by providing intelligence on regime leaders and their movements. At the same time, Iran's security forces appear increasingly strained, with some units reportedly struggling. This comes as Israel escalates its campaign, targeting key Iranian officials with precision strikes. In recent days, several high-ranking figures have been killed, in part due to intelligence collected from within Iran itself. Prime Minister Netanyahu says the operation is already producing results. We are winning. Iran is being heavily damaged. We've destroyed missiles and much of their nuclear infrastructure. Our focus now is on dismantling the factories that produce missile components and nuclear weapon parts. Netanyahu says Israel is shifting from simply disrupting Iran's capabilities to completely dismantling them. After 20 days, Iran has no ability to enrich uranium or produce ballistic missiles. We will continue until everything is reduced to dust. Iran disputes these claims. A Revolutionary Guard spokesperson insists missile production continues, signaling the fight is far from over. Overnight, Iran launched multiple missile salvos toward Israel, highlighting a gap between Israel's assessment and Iran's on-the-ground actions. Meanwhile, the U.S. is reportedly deploying advanced bunker-busting bombs against deeply fortified Iranian targets along the Persian Gulf. These weapons penetrate reinforced underground facilities before detonating, striking sites previously considered unreachable, including missile silos, command centers, and suspected nuclear infrastructure. U.S. Central Command reports more than 7,800 targets struck, over 8,000 combat flights, and at least 120 Iranian vessels damaged. Separately, a U.S. F-35 fighter jet made an emergency landing after a combat mission over Iran. The pilot is safe, though this may mark the first time a U.S. jet was hit by enemy fire. Beyond the battlefield, U.S. investigators are expanding a probe into UNRWA, examining alleged Hamas ties among employees and potential links to the October 7th, as reports indicate over 100 people are now under investigation, with 14 confirmed to have Hamas affiliations. This raises renewed concerns in Washington and Jerusalem about oversight within the agency and whether international aid resources were exploited by terrorist networks in Gaza. Now, I'd like to welcome Shabbat Jerusalem, spokesperson for Prime Minister Netanyahu's office, specializing in foreign media. Remember to leave your questions for Show in the comments. First, Show, let's handle a basic check. Can you show your hands and count your fingers to make sure all is accounted for? All fingers are present on both hands, including the Prime Minister's. Perfect, that's cleared up. Show, what was it like managing communications during such a chaotic period, especially with false rumors that the Prime Minister had been assassinated? Absolutely outrageous. It has been intense since Operation Roaring Lion began. The Prime Minister has issued statements and held press conferences, allowing journalists to interact with him directly and witness both his leadership and the progress of Israel's campaign in Iran. In your view, how effective have Israel's enemies been in spreading misinformation about the country? We are constantly dealing with misinformation campaigns, whether after Hamas stormed our southern border on October 7th or regarding our hostages. Many people around the world have attempted to discredit the experiences of the Israeli people and anyone living here, regardless of religion. Our hostages endured extreme abuse, sexual assault, torture, and starvation. Despite much online speculation ignoring the facts, we have addressed misinformation from the beginning. We focus on sharing the truth. That's who we are. Exactly. So, I wanted to ask about the Prime Minister's recent reference to historian Will Durant. This has sparked discussion across social media. He quoted, "History proves that unfortunately and unhappily, Jesus Christ has no advantage over Genghis Khan. Because if someone is strong, ruthless, and powerful enough, evil can overcome good." What exactly did he mean by that? Sure, the Prime Minister was actually conveying that. Following a wave of misinformation online, the Prime Minister clarified on X that his remarks were misinterpreted. He emphasized that Christians are valued and protected in Israel and flourish here. He did not intend to denigrate Jesus Christ at his press conference last night. Netanyahu cited the esteemed American historian Will Durant. "No other leader in the Middle East," he said, "is as committed to supporting the Christian community as he is. He actively defends religious freedom, ensuring that Christians can practice their faith openly. We all know that Christians prosper in Israel. Protecting Christian rights is essential. We stand with them and intervene when they face persecution." That's remarkable. Show. Indeed, no other Middle Eastern country has a growing Christian population outside of Israel. Now, the big question, how long will this campaign continue? Based on briefings, what is the Prime Minister's expected timeline? Netanyahu said it may take time, but perhaps not as long as people assume. The operation could conclude faster than expected. That's because Israel is striking hard at the Ayatollah regime in Iran. Today, the IDF announced the elimination of their head of intelligence, a key figure orchestrating attacks against Israel. This leader had been central in planning operations carried out by their forces. We are systematically dismantling the facilities that pose immediate threats. Ballistic and nuclear capabilities are being neutralized. About 70% of their rocket launchers have already been taken out by the IDF. Here in central Israel, we continue to experience attacks daily. Alerts went off multiple times today, from early morning until now. Despite this, Israel continues to strike back, targeting the Ayatollah regime that seeks only to destroy Israel and the United States. That is their stated goal. Moving to questions show, Gearhammer915 asks, do most Israelis feel more united and secure with these attacks on Iranian leadership? Great question. Israelis and Jewish communities worldwide and everyone living here are standing united behind Operation Roaring Lion. Israel has faced threats from the Ayatollah regime for 47 years, including terror proxies surrounding the country. There's no coincidence that 3 major terror groups are positioned around Israel. This was orchestrated by the Ayatollah regime. Hezbollah in the north, Hamas in Gaza to the south, and the Houthis in Yemen also pose a threat. All 3 proxies are funded, trained, and supported by Iran, aiming to annihilate Israel by targeting the head of the snake. We aim to disrupt the entire network of terror. We are united and fully support the Prime Minister's campaign, which is unprecedented in the Middle East. Shabbat Jerusalem, thank you for joining us today. Now, let's go live to Middle East correspondent Paul Petit in central Israel at the site of the latest missile strike. Paul, are you with us? It seems we're waiting on Paul. While we do, can you imagine the chaos of people questioning the Prime Minister's fingers? I can't even imagine. It's like common sense has vanished. Laughter and the concept of making videos and appearances to prove he's alive to the world, it's crazy. Absolutely. It's a strange situation. Information moves faster than the media here. If anything major happened, everyone would know instantly. Israel is like a big family. News spreads rapidly. I remember when that rumor first circulated. We were live on a Sunday and immediately contacted Sho and her team. They confirmed, yes, we discussed it this morning. It shows how fast news travels in this country. Oh, Paul is ready. We'll address comments shortly, but let's bring him in first. Paul Petit, Central Israel. Can you hear us? Live TV is tricky. Sometimes audio works, sometimes video, but we'll manage. We're at the site of the latest missile strikes. Emergency crews have mostly cleared. You can see the Star of David flags marking the area and visible damage from the strikes. This all occurred within the past hour. It's a very fluid situation. We're about 12 miles from Tel Aviv, in the city of science, home to roughly 170,000 residents. There were 8 separate impact sites from missiles that broke apart. 7 people suffered minor injuries, mostly from smoke inhalation rather than structural damage. You can see damage to a nearby home and its tile roof. At another location, 1 person was lightly injured. Thankfully, the situation could have been much worse. Ballistic missiles and cluster munitions have been striking constantly, yet casualties remain low. I want to bring in a neighbor, Mayan, who lives across from the strike site. Mayan, can you tell us what you experienced? We ran to the shelter with my oldest son, closed the door, and then heard a loud explosion. I also received a call about a minute after the initial alert. Someone in the neighborhood called to report an impact near my house. I ran outside, then back inside to secure everyone. I was the first to help, and the neighbors joined in. There were about 15 people waiting at the shelter. I guided them to the back of the house. Since the front was unsafe and debris was falling, I told them to take cover around the side, away from the danger. That was just one of 8 impacts in the area. It's remarkable that even a fraction of a missile could cause so much damage. Exactly. Imagine if a full explosive hit here. And there were no explosives in that fragment, just a large piece of metal. If it had been one of the smaller, more destructive pieces, the damage could have been catastrophic. This shows just how dangerous it is to live so close to these attacks, especially in a neighborhood where families and children are out for Shabbat, going to playgrounds. What goes through your mind when this happens in your own backyard? You're not a soldier, just enjoying a normal day.